Romeo and Juliet's a classic story. I mean, two families, two political cultures clashing. Surely love triumphs over everything else.
Politics of love.
Well, I think we've got today you're going to witness a new angle on Brexit. I know it's a topic that some people are fed up with, but we're going to discuss Brexit and love. Can a relationship survive different points of view in politics, or the great issues of the day, or something like Brexit? Now, does anyone know a couple that have busted up as a result of Brexit? I have.
Yeah, I mean, we've experienced it firsthand, where we had a couple that were engaged. One's an in, one's an out, and it didn't work, and they split.
Would you ever break up with someone because of their politics? Is that enough? Is that a good enough reason? Let me ask you, Raphael. Would you break up with someone because of their politics?
Personally, I always think it depends on the relationship. So if the relationship is strong enough, politics should not have any impact on it at all. If the relationship is not strong enough and you want to find an excuse to get out of it, of course, then you can use anything, and Brexit would be a perfect one.
Yeah, but you're not going to put right-wing with a socialist. They're never going to get on. I mean, because the whole view is different, right? I mean...
You see, it comes very deep-rooted, and politics is a very deep thing within us, and we have such strong beliefs. It's nearly like a religion.
It's very tribal politics, isn't it?
Very.
And the conflict comes if someone from a different tribe comes. I mean, Romeo and Juliet's a classic story. I mean, two families, two political, cultures clashing. But surely love triumphs over everything else.
I like to think
the person, not the politics. Is that right?
I love the idea. I love what you're saying.
But you don't think it's true?
I think it's true.
No, I don't.
I don't.
I do.
But there's got to be a limit. For example, I mean, during the Second World War, you couldn't really fall in love with a Nazi, could you?
Well, there has been stories of that kind, actually. There has been stories of that kind, because not all Nazis were actually Nazis in terms of,
Yeah, we're talking about, there were obviously people recruited into the army against their will. But I'm talking about someone who was, chose to be a Nazi. Could you actually fall in love with someone like that? Or someone who was an extremely left-wing person?
Absolutely not.
A Maoist. So there you go, politics.
Absolutely
there you go.
Absolutely not. But that is extreme, what you're saying, though. We're talking about an extreme example there.
Well, Brexit's another...
I wouldn't compare, what happened then.
Brexit's an example of where I've known many couples. First of all, it's destroyed numerous friendships, and it has destroyed, relationships. People feel so passionately about this. Now, are they right to feel this way? Because in 10, 15 years, people will say, oh, what was all the big deal? What was the fuss?
Well, when Trump got elected...
Well, there's another one, yes.
We saw a spike in breakups, and we saw a shift in membership, and people literally... I found that a lot of people just couldn't support the politics of that person. But it's also very socioeconomic, you have to remember. People of different socioeconomic levels, they have a different political view.
Right.
Right?
So you're saying when a couple from two different socioeconomic backgrounds get together, that's a recipe for trouble? Is that what you're saying?
I think that the socioeconomic dynamic, it plays a very strong part in a relationship. I don't think the dynamic of the dating industry has changed since Brexit has happened. I think it's caused a lot of unrest in couples and in friendships. That's what I feel that's happened.
Friendship in particular, I would say. I definitely know of lots of people that have actually not spoken again.
But we're getting people coming in. They're saying to us, if the person was an out to be voted out of Brexit, I don't want to go out with that person.
But why is that? Why should it matter so much?
Well, I mean, that's what people get. They have strong views about stuff. I mean, what's your view?
Well, but my view is I voted, I'm a Remainer. But if someone was voted to leave, that wouldn't necessarily put me off them, because they would have other things about them that I would like.
Of course,
and fall
it's
in
all
love
about
with
a
it.
mindset,
So
et cetera,
it's one thing. If they had a certain set of values that informed everything about their whole worldview, I couldn't fall in love with someone who was extremely right-wing or extremely left-wing. That would be very difficult, because our values would be so different.
But all extremes are negatives anyway. I mean, there's always somewhere in between.
Yeah.
And
How many times have you been at a dinner party, for instance? And recently we were at one in the south of France, and there was a very mixed group of people, and a good few people got up and moved to the other end of the table.
And this is a friendship group. And these particular group of people who were British, they got up and they couldn't agree, and they had to leave the table because of the strong political view that they held.
I just remembered something. My first wife was a Stalinist. I've obviously managed to repress that. She had to collect 30 volumes of the work of Joseph Stalin. It just came back to me. I don't know what happened there.
Is that
And I
why
was
she
totally in love with her.
Is that why she was your first wife?
No, that's not why she was, but I just completely forgot about that. I said, I couldn't love anyone that was that extreme. I did. Reader, I married that person. So there you go. If you love someone so much, you forgive them their faults. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, people have terrible aspects of their personality, and we forgive them for that. Why don't we forgive them on their politics?
Is it their youth? It was at that stage because as you get older, you become more political.
Don't you be more fixed in your point of view?
Yes. And you become staunch in how you feel about things and more confident in yourself than when you were younger. And you've seen lots of different things.
I think it's just the opposite. I think as you get older, you realize the less and less you know, the less confident you are about the world. There's much more nuanced point of view. Things aren't so black and white. There's much more areas of grey.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But you see, don't you think there's a common theme here? The thing is that in any relationship, at any age, right, or any politics, whatever it is, the first 6 or 8 months are great because it's all about getting to know one another and the sex and the this and that is brilliant, right? But after that period is over, you're looking for something else, right? And if you can't get on together like great minds, etc., then is it ever going to work? That's the thing.
So what you're saying is keep politics out of bedroom, have loads of sex, and you can stay together.
This is it.
Perfect situation.
I think that's our conclusion there.
With Jeremy Corbyn.
Oh, that's scary.
Not.
And never bring up the subject of politics during a dinner.
Or during sex.
Yeah,
Or
or
during
during
sex.
sex.
No politics, no sex, no religion, no money.
I hope you follow with that, viewers.
Correct.
And on that note, thank you for watching. I'm Mairead Malloy.
And I'm Cosmo Landesman.
And we'll see you soon again.